Hi, Ram Fam, and welcome back to another episode of Faculty Spotlight. My name is Cynthia Murillo, and I am your host. Today, I have Dr. Dandra Mohr, Dean of Digital Learning and Instruction, with us today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to spend some time with you.
Yeah, so let me ask you. Now, tell me the truth. Have you ever heard of Ram Radio before I contacted you?
I have. Dr. Rodriguez has been talking to me about this for quite a long time.
Okay. I'm be honest. I didn't hear about Ram Radio until I actually applied. I saw it on Ramport, and so I applied. And now I see it everywhere. It's like our little billboards are everywhere. So, okay, cool. So you've heard of Ram Radio. But for those of you who are not familiar with our show, so this show is a Faculty Spotlight. It is one of our only shows. Most of our shows are geared towards the student body. This is one of our only shows that puts the spotlight on our faculty, our staff, and our leadership here at ASU. So that's why it's so special. Up until this semester, the guy sitting in this chair interviewing was actually faculty. So this is new, student interviewing faculty, staff, and leadership. And I like it because it tears down those walls between. I know we don't mean to put them up, but let's just be honest. Sometimes it can be intimidating speaking to somebody in leadership or a dean, a professor. So I like this show because it tears down some of those walls. It lets us get to know y'all professionally and also on a more personal level. So, with that being said, I want to start off with a personal question, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, with Easter approaching, do you have any plans?
So we actually don't have too many plans.
No.
So my mother-in-law lives with us, and so she got a new kidney less than a year ago.
Oh, wow.
And so we have to go up to Fort Worth. Her appointment's on a Monday, so we head up there just to get ready because she goes bright and early. She has her early one, so it's a little different this year.
Yeah.
So it's different, but we have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes.
When you think about everything that we got, when you think about getting a kidney, that's a great gift.
Yes.
So everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. And I'm like, no, on the contrary, we have a healthy mother-in-law and life is great. So it's a little different this year.
Yes.
But hopefully you have some exciting plans.
Mine start as early as tomorrow, and they're going to continue on till Sunday. We have a huge family, so we have to celebrate with one family one day, the other one the next, the other one the next. Otherwise, it's chaos trying to do 4 family events in one day. I've done it before. I've had to time it like 2 hours. We got to go get to the next event.
It's better to spread it out so you can really enjoy them, right?
Exactly. But on the other end, it's exhausting because every day you're doing something. But I love, I have learned to really love and enjoy family time. Before, I'm not going to lie, it was more like, oh, we have to do this, you know? It was like a to-do thing. But now I'm really enjoying spending time with family, slowing down. Because sometimes life just gets busy and we get busy working. And, you know, it's just nice to slow down and spend time with family, you know?
It really is, because I do think sometimes we lose sight of those things that are most important to us.
Speaking of that, so how do you balance your work-life balance?
I'm probably not the best one to ask that.
I think everybody struggles. That's why I ask that question so much, because so many people struggle with it.
I think, first of all, when you think about a job and a career, which is why most people go to college, it's finding something you love doing, right? It's finding something that you don't get up in the morning and say, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to work. This is awful. Because for me, I don't have clear-cut boundaries. I'm not sure that I ever really did. Like, I know there are some people who are great. Like, I come to work at 8 and I end work at 5. I'm not one of those people. I love what I do. So if there's things that need done on the weekend, things that need done in the evening, that's always been stuff that I've done. And so I have a great husband who's very supportive. He's like, do what you need to do. Or he loves coming to events, like tonight is Biz Pitch. And I have a Biz Pitch student too. She's going to win. No pressure to the judges. But no, she's been great working with her. But I mean, I think it's when you find things that you love and you enjoy doing, you don't mind. So it's not like, okay, if I spend a little time here, a little time there. I mean, for me, it's really, how do you track what you're doing? And so when I talk with my team, they're like, well, how do you get all this done? And I'm like, for me, it's how do you manage? I've always said, if you want to ask someone to do something, you ask a busy person because they get it done. So it's not the people you're like, oh, that'd be a great person to ask who like has lots of time because they're not always the most motivated to get stuff done, right?
So this is why I stay busy, huh?
That's why you stay busy.
People are asking me to do stuff left and right.
And you find a way to fit it all in. You make it happen.
I don't know how, but yeah.
Right. And so it's like, what's most important? Like, when do things need to get done? How do you get them done? How do you figure stuff out? And it's a shuffling game. And then when do you call in help and reinforcements? Like, where can you get help to do this? Where can you get help to do that? And trying to let go of the things that you really don't need to do. And I think that we all have a subset of those things. So it's trying to prioritize them. And it is having some balance, because sometimes you do need to unplug and say, I just need a little bit of me time, and then come back into what you're doing, because you're better at your job, or you're better at your family, and you're better at your life. But I do think things oftentimes do run together, because life is so connected now. It's not like it was a long time ago, where it's like when you left work, you couldn't, I don't know, everything. Your phone rings, your email's there, life is there.
Yes.
And when people need help, I want to help them. And so it's like, for a student who's doing something that's due on a Saturday or Sunday, and they have a question, for me it's really important. Let's get you the answer you need. It's not about, well, why didn't you ask Friday at 3 p.m.? Well, because that wasn't on their time management schedule. So sometimes it's like that minute or two makes all the difference for them.
It really, really does. And I feel like you're speaking to me, because I'm someone who, I'll be honest, I struggle asking others for help. People don't struggle asking me for help. I guess because I'm one of them busybodies. But I struggle asking for help, and I also struggle with letting things go. So I felt like that really just resonated with me. It's like, you just got to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help sometimes, and prioritizing, I guess, like in one season something might be more important, and then like, okay, we're done with that. But I struggle with letting things go sometimes, so that's hard. But so when you're not at work, what do you like to do for fun? What are your hobbies?
Really great question. So I spend a lot of time with my family. Obviously, they moved with me when I moved here for this job, so spend a lot of family time. And I also spend a lot of time with my dog. We came with a dog. Unfortunately, she passed away at 14. And so we got a rescue dog from Paws. And he takes up a lot of our time. So we love doing things with him, like going for a walk. So when you think about time management and balance, like, it is like, okay, when we get home, it's like after dinner, we walk the dog, because of course he's got lots of energy, so we need to get that out. So it's good for your health, as well as it's good for spending time with your spouse. And when you're walking, you're not connected to your devices and technology, and you can focus on those conversations and have that meaningful time and focus on the things you need to. Well, so it is kind of multitasking, doing different things, but so a lot of it is focused around the dog, which we love so much, and family and work. I mean, I think the older you get, sort of the less hobbies that you have, just by simple fact that you're busy adulting.
Yeah. And I love walking. I love it. I love being out in nature. And you said your dog was a rescue dog, and it came from a home of 80 dogs.
Yeah.
That is mind-blowing. So how did you get him?
So we were, unfortunately, they have the euthanasia list. And so they were going to put some dogs down. And our dog had just passed away a few weeks earlier. I can tell you, if you're used to having a dog, when you walk home and there's nothing at the door to greet you, I love what and I say that. My husband's like, what am I, chopped liver? And I'm like, no, but like there's these cute little paws that you hear on the floor, clickety clack, and they're so happy to see you no matter how tough or how stressed your day has been. Your dog unconditionally loves you and was like so excited to see you. And so you walk home and the house is just empty. So it was like there was this big hole in our heart that was like, we miss our pet. And so unfortunately, we see way too many of these lists now from the shelters, and they're all over because there's obviously a lot of dogs. And but we saw that, and we're like, well, we're going to go check out what they have. And there was this woman who had a lot of dogs, and she was trying to work with the shelter to get rid of them for good homes. And some of them actually went up to Canada, but some of them have been rehomed to homes here in San Angelo. So our dog was one of them, and he's done incredibly well.
What's his name?
So his name's Charlie.
Oh.
And so he's done really great, because I mean our worry was, okay, this has been like an outside dog for 7 years, had all of these friends that he played with all the time. How's he going to adapt to an indoor house? And he's become the little king of his castle, and you have no fear, he has adapted great, and he now runs our life. But yeah, it was just sort of like we were looking at other dogs, and my husband turns around and he's like, I want that one. And so that's the one we got. And I'm like, sometimes you just know.
Yeah, sometimes you just know. So are you from here, or are you from West Texas?
No, not here from... Oh, so I've been here a little less than 2 years.
Okay.
And we moved from Boston.
Oh, from Boston. Oh, so
Yes.
how did you end up here at San Angelo, and most specifically at ASU?
So we moved here for my job here at ASU.
Okay.
So that's how we wound up
So y'all
here.
came specifically for your role here at ASU?
Yes.
Okay, got you. Got you. So is it, I'm guessing, a lot different than Boston?
So the climate is different.
Yeah.
And we actually love it. So Boston has long winters, lots of snow, lots of ice. It's rainy season up there now.
Yeah.
Although I laugh when people are like, it's rain season here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I call it like, we pretend it's going to rain season because you see the weather forecast.
Yes.
And it's like, it may rain today, but
Yes.
chances are it's not going to. But so the weather's very different. I mean, it's not nearly as warm up there in the summers. But no, I mean, people here are much friendlier. Obviously, it's just a very southern, welcoming culture. But all in all, things are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Other than that, but we love it here. It's really great.
Cool. I love it here too. Is there like a favorite restaurant or place you like to go here in town?
Oh, I feel like there's so many places we'd love to eat at.
I know, me too. I ask this question a lot because I'm a foodie and I like to know where are the best spots at.
I mean, I feel like it depends like what you're in the mood for.
For sure.
Is the hard part, and it's like who gets to pick, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like I love Angry Cactus and Cork and Pig and the Grill, and he really loves like Henry's and Gill's. We haven't been to the new Gill's.
Oh, I haven't been either. I used to be very faithful at the old one, but I haven't been to the new location.
So yeah, I mean, but for us, it's been really fun trying out new restaurants and new places and hearing what everybody has to say. They're like, go here or do this, or so that's been kind of a fun experience for us.
Yeah,
because it's like everyone's like, this is great or that's great because they've been here forever and they know.
Yeah, for sure. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do here at ASU?
Absolutely. So digital learning is all things technology. And so the center was created. So this is a brand new position here at ASU. And so what it was really meant to do is sort of bring things together. Everyone says that COVID really sparked online learning here. It was going on far before COVID. I just think it accelerated. But digital learning is integrated into almost every class you have. I mean, if you have Blackboard or you use any technology or any tool, digital learning is a part of that. And so part of my role is really to work with the other deans and faculty across campus to really create innovative learning experiences and make sure that our courses are what students need, and how do we do things that prepare them for the future, and how are things changing? What do we need? Because things that we needed 40 years ago are not the things that we need today. And how do we make those changes? Because one of the big things we're doing right now is we're currently upgrading Blackboard from the original form to Ultra. Have you seen Ultra yet?
I've heard about it, so I haven't done a lot of research on that.
Because this semester was the first rollout, so there were 19 of us who taught a class in that version. In the summer, I think we're at 68 faculty going to teach.
Oh, wow.
And right now in the fall, there's 97, but we're hopeful that there'll be more.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then by spring, everyone.
Okay.
So we're working to get everybody trained up, getting stuff transitioned.
Yes, it's all the buzz right now, so, okay.
But,
so y'all are training right now.
But I personally think it's much better. And student feedback, we just did a survey of all the students who have taken classes this spring, and the feedback has been really great. They love it. So I think it's just really going to enhance the experiences and learning for people.
Yeah. So I'll be graduating in, I think, 28 days now. I don't know. I started the countdown and now I'm already. But I did apply for the next master's program that's going to be starting in the fall. So I'm going completely online, and that'll be the first time I've done that. So I'm a little bit nervous.
So which program?
For the master's in social work.
Oh, social work. Awesome.
Yes, and because it didn't work with my schedule, I'm going to be going completely online, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm excited. I'm doing the fast track, so it should be done in like 11 months. So, but
that program is awesome, and most of their stuff is already in process.
Okay. So I'll be seeing it.
Yeah, Dr. Starkey and Dr. Carr have been great.
Yes.
They've been champions working on stuff, and they're great partners to work with.
Awesome.
But I mean, to me, online isn't that different than face-to-face. You still have to treat it like a class. You still have to work on it. I mean, I think people who run into problems are those who are like, oh, I have an assignment due Sunday. I'm going to log in Sunday morning and start working. And it's like, no.
The producer's saying, me.
Right, because it's like, especially when it's not, like, when you work on your master's, it's usually you've honed in on an area, which a few minutes before we started, we chatted. That makes a lot of sense why you chose that program. Like, that it seems to align really well with what I see that you're doing now. Like, so I can see that you're going to love those classes because you're just a person who helps and wants to give back.
Yes.
And so in your master's, it's really very specific to what you're going to do. Whereas, like, in undergrad, you take classes in a lot of different areas to give you, like, a well-rounded background.
Yes.
And so sometimes people get in online classes and they're like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I totally understand that, but are you going to like it any better in a classroom? And they're like, no, I don't like that. And I'm like, okay.
I just don't like it.
Right. And so I'm like, that's fair. There's lots of things I didn't like undergrad too. But so you still have to put the time in learning. And it's like, if you space it out and you block times to do those things, you're going to be much more successful and cause yourself much less stress than if you wait to the last minute. Not saying people in face-to-face classes don't do that, because I think some people are great at doing things at the last minute. Not all of us excel at that skill.
Yeah. I feel like I work well under pressure, but it's only because I always feel like I'm running around 100 miles an hour. So I try not to. I plan 3 months ahead, but then before I know, I'm like, it's due this week.
Right. Life gets in the way.
So what is your favorite part of your job?
There's so many parts that I really love. I mean, I have to say my favorite part is students. I don't get that much of an opportunity. I always teach online. I try and navigate for a face-to-face class, and they still give me online. They're like, but you're so good at it. And I'm like, I know, but I love students.
Yes.
Because it's great to get the feedback and talk to them and learn and hear, like, where are the pain points? Where are the challenges? What are you getting? And then being able to communicate that back to faculty in a way that doesn't seem like you're attacking them. It's like, well, here's the experience. Here's the journey. How can we look at this differently? How might we make adaptations or changes? And really trying to help without taking away from the quality of what you're trying to provide to them. But I also love working with faculty. When I think about the people, I know you said you really enjoy doing these interviews. We have so many talented faculty here that bring so many unique qualities and knowledge and experience. And so even if you're in a class that you really don't like, how could that potentially help you at some point in your life? Or how could you do something with that? I mean, you never know when knowledge is going to be helpful. Or how does it prepare you for something else? And trying to look at it as, okay, I might not be fill in the blank, but this could be useful at some point somewhere. Because, I mean, I found things that I'm like, oh, I'm never going to use that again. And magically somehow that never fits together in different ways, or it could open up different doors. But it is, I mean, I always say to people, I mean, because I do a lot in orientation, and we go and talk to new families when they're coming in. I love when they think about technology. The number one question there is, how do I use the washing machines on campus? And I'm like, well, that's a great question. I haven't used those, but here's how I would go about teaching your child how to do that. But I think the other piece that I really talk about is with students, it's like, please talk to us. Like, even the people that may seem like they have the hardest shells, it's because they care. And so trying to have that outreach and showing them, I have questions, I really want to know, I'm trying here, here's where I'm struggling. They will help you when you ask, but they're not going to help you if they don't know you have a need.
For sure.
And so that's the piece of, and it can be scary. I get it. Because I know someone came to my office and they were a freshman and they were crying.
Oh,
and,
my goodness.
And they're like with their laptop and they're like, you're really cool. Like, I thought you were going to yell at me. And I'm like, do you want me to yell at you?
Oh my gosh, how funny.
And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, then let's not do that. Like, let's get you set up. And he's like, you did so much more than I needed. And I'm like, well, it all fits together. And so I think that's the thing, is like, there's this perception that horrible things are going to happen. And it's like, no, nothing horrible is going to happen. It's like, we're humans just like you, and we've been through some of those same journeys, and we understand struggles. But it's like, again, if you don't reach out and don't talk to us, how do we know that they're going on? And you only have to share what you're comfortable with too. Because I also say to people, like, you don't have to tell them every single problem that led to the problem. It's just
Tell me the problem.
Because it's like, they're like, well, that's really personal. And I'm like, well, leave that part out. So it's like, just be like, here, I'm having family issues and struggles, and can I have time? Like, and it's asking nicely. Like, I understand you have a policy. I understand what this is. Like, I'm really trying to be successful. I want to learn. So just trying to help them understand. Now, whatever you're comfortable sharing helps understand the situation. But they are there, or like, I need a little extra help. What do you suggest? Or I'm not getting this. And that's what office hours are for. They're not meant for them to sit in their office and entertain themselves. They're really meant to be there to help you.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another reason why I love doing Faculty Spotlight, because it tears down that fear of, are they approachable? You know, they might watch this and be like, oh, you know, we like the same types of food or same types of music, or like have something, you know, to go off of. So that's why I really like it. So what do you feel like some of the challenges in your field are right now?
That's a great question. I mean, for me, I think one of the big challenges, what do we do with AI? And I think part of it is really helping faculty learn how to use it so that they can then help students learn how to use it. And this summer, I'm super excited. I'm teaching students an AI prompt engineering class.
Okay.
And really looking forward to that, because I get really excited when you show people how to use stuff. I was at a meeting yesterday, and I was like showing faculty, and they're like, oh, that is so cool. But I think it's, for me, that challenge is we need to learn how to do this well, and then teach students how to do this well.
Yes.
Because when you go out to look for jobs, employers have some expectations that we know how to do certain things.
Yes.
So saying like, I don't know how to do this, because there's one student I was working with on something, and she's like, well, that's cheating. And I'm like, that's not cheating. And I'm like, you're going to use this in business. It's using it as an aid. I didn't say put in your assignment, check out the prompt, and submit that as like, no, there are very specific ways, and then give citations. Now, if your faculty member says don't use it at all for this assignment, don't use it. But when you think about business and how businesses are using it, and they've started to cocoon systems so that internal data doesn't go into a training module, it doesn't go outside of your organization, it's all within that, you're going to expect that you're doing and using these tools. And so I think part of that is really helping everyone learn how to do this better so that they are prepared, and getting people in this thought process that learning is lifelong. Because I mean, when I think back, like a year ago, AI was nowhere where it is today, and where it's going to be in a year or two is pretty amazing how quickly we're learning. And when you think about, like, from a human side, AI is better now at counseling than humans, from like a social work and a health perspective, and people can't differentiate, which is A, kind of scary. But B, how do we potentially use that when there's a shortage of people to help? Like, how do we get, but then you have to worry about the bias and the ethics and those type of things. And how do we make sure that we are getting people good advice? Now, we have the same thing with humans. And how do we make sure that humans are giving good advice and taking care of those that they serve as well? And I think that's the hard part. But how do we utilize some of that technology to really assist with helping people and their needs? But when you think about healthcare, it's done amazing things for detection and helping and working on things. So, I mean, I think it's only going to get stronger and better. And it's how do we prepare for the world that's coming?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So you said you were going to be teaching some summer classes. Are you going to be teaching all summer, or do you have any?
Well, as a dean, we're here all summer. We don't leave. But I'm here, like, I'm teaching an 8-week. It's prompt engineering, and so that's part of I don't know. I think it's really important to continue teaching, A, while I love teaching, but B, to make sure that all of the tools and things we put in place work the way they're supposed to. How do we help faculty learn how to use them? How are people responding to them? Because if they're not responding well, then how do we go about sort of shifting or changing or training those types of things? And so that allows me to do that. But so that's pretty exciting. And then this summer, I'm also working with faculty to implement more of Coursera. I'm not sure if you've heard about Coursera. It is a micro-credentialing platform that we've invested in, that you can, they call it the Career Academy. You can get some additional credentials. So say that you want to learn more about project management. Say you want to learn more about data analytics. Say you're a cybersecurity person. There's a whole host of things that you can learn. It could be as simple as watching one video to taking a course to taking a whole certificate program. And so you then come out with something else in addition to your degree. Okay. And so why that's helpful is how can you be more marketable, or how can you get a different skill set than somebody else who's applying for the same job? Mm-hmm. And so how does that help you stand out, or how does that help you build in skill sets that you have? And so with faculty, they can build some of those things into a course. Mm-hmm. So for example, prompt engineering, I have a couple of those built into the course that are AI to give people some foundational knowledge. Mm-hmm. When they complete those, they get certificates that can go into their LinkedIn profile. So you're starting to build up, I've got these things that show that I'm special and unique, mm-hmm. that really help me, but you're also learning supplemental things. But students can do that now. I mean, if you go onto Ramport, it just has a box in there with information for Coursera. You log in and you have access to the whole Career Academy. Wow. So for those who maybe aren't taking summer classes, mm-hmm. that's a great way to continue learning, getting some things that sort of differentiate you from the next person. But it's also find something that interests you as well when you think about what's next for me after I graduate and how can I potentially use that.
Yeah, for sure. So it is a radio show, so I'm going to ask you, is there a certain type of music you like to listen to, or your favorite song you want to let us know about?
You know, I love listening to all kinds of music. The thing that we've listened to a lot more country music since we've got here, because that was not big
in Boston.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I think that all genres are great to really learn. I think it's funny because it's like we also, when you think about the dog loves the soundtrack from Wicked.
How funny.
It is really cute when Popular comes on. He gets really excited.
Oh, that's so cute.
And he's also a Beyonce dog. And so we've kind of created little narratives as to how he got his. He really likes Texas Hold'em.
Oh my gosh,
and so
cute.
Yeah, he'll dance around in the morning. So sometimes I'm like, okay, Google, play this, and he dances while I'm making coffee, and it's really kind of cute.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah.
Alright, see, well, we are running out of time, but I am going to give you an opportunity. Is there any last words, any advice, any shout outs, anything else you want to say before we wrap up our show today?
Well, first off, thank you for taking the time to spend time with me, to get to know me, because I know how busy you are in the end of the semester.
You too.
But I mean, I'm so appreciative for all of the people taking time to learn and really better themselves. And I know this is the time of the semester when people are like, what am I doing and why am I here? And I know it's a tough time it's just we go through different cycles, and it is all worth it in the end. And I know for you, when graduation's coming, as we're preparing for commencement, and it's it's a very exciting time. Yes. But it's remember where the end goal is for you, and that you can get there. As for you, those 28 days will be here before you know it, and everything will happen. But no matter where people are in the journey, they'll be able to get there. It's just one day at a time, one moment at a time. And I know when I was stressed, and I'm like, I don't know if I can finish this doctorate, my husband was like, okay, take a break today. Tomorrow will be another day. And so it's just, even sometimes it's a 15-minute break or an hour break. And it's just to kind of give you that perspective, knowing that end of the term is tough. But you can do it, and it's believe in yourself, because you can make things happen.
You're so inspirational, encouraging, and a wise woman. I'm so glad I had the time to sit down and talk to you. But again, guys, that is our time for today. Again, my name is Cynthia Murillo. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And we will see y'all again next week, same day, same time. Bye, guys. Thank y'all.